October 2004, I deployed as a bomb dog handler, was attached to 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines, based out of FOB Iskanderiya, the Triangle of Death. Shortly after I arrived, I was introduced to Bravo Company and Sergeant Jayton Patterson. We hit it off almost immediately, and it wasn't because of me, it was because of my bomb dog, Benny. Everybody on the base absolutely loved Benny. Patterson and I went out on many raids, many patrols with each other. So that started the relationship, but it grew into a lot more than that. Sergeant Patterson and I were out on a standard patrol, and we pulled into a village, and I was riding right behind him in the Humvee, and we both looked out the window, and almost simultaneously we saw a very newer BMW 7 Series in the middle of Iraq. So we knew something was up. We went down to investigate. As soon as we got there, a couple guys tried to take off running. We detained them, and we were able to uncover a weapons cache. While we were there, one of the detainees broke away, and half of us went chasing him, and somehow I kind of got lost in the shuffle, and I found myself broken away from everybody in the middle of this little village. And it wasn't until Sergeant Patterson was able to locate and find me that I was able to meet back up with the team. That evening, we had a special forces group that was on our FOB, and they asked for me and my dog to go out on a raid with them. So we did, which just meant the next morning when Bravo Company was going out for their patrol, I was not able to go. That afternoon, after waking up, myself and one of my Marines were down at the talk, and we ran into the Colonel, our CO, and he'd asked me, "Did you hear what happened to Patterson?" And I said, "No, I was just with him yesterday." Since I was not out on patrol with him that day, he took it upon himself to go investigate an IED hole. He was the only NCO that was out there that day, and he knew how short they were. He didn't want anybody to get injured or killed that short from going home. So he took it upon himself. He told everybody to stay in the Humvee, stay mounted. He got out and walked up to go inspect the hole. As soon as he got to the hole, an IED was detonated, and it killed him instantly. He was 2 weeks from getting ready to rotate home with his wife and his 18-month-old daughter, and he was killed being a Marine's Marine, making sure as an NCO that he was taking care of his junior Marines, and he sacrificed his life for it. It was the first guy that I personally knew that was killed in action. It's been 20 and a half years since he was killed, January 15th of 2005. And up until this past summer, I had not had the courage to go visit his gravesite in Virginia. While we were up there at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Washington, D.C. in Arlington, laying an OPFOB wreath, we added into the schedule to go down to Franklin, Virginia, and go pay my respects to Sergeant Patterson. While we were down there, one of the caretakers of the place introduced himself, great guy, and he asked, "Hey, do you want to meet the Pattersons, the family, the parents?" And after a discussion with Jimmy, I was not prepared for it. It was hard enough already to go and pay my respects to him. So I politely told the gentleman I appreciated it. I gave him my number, I gave him a coin, and I said, "Please give this to her. I would love to talk to her, and I would come back up here to visit with her and talk." About 5 minutes later, I got a call from a Virginia number, and it was Mrs. Sharon Patterson. And she reached out and she said, "Hey, I heard you're here. I'd like to meet you." So within a few minutes, she showed up, and I think she was a little standoffish at first. Well, then I mentioned to her that I was the canine handler that had Benny, and immediately you could see the emotion that came about. One of the last pictures that was taken of Sergeant Patterson was him with my Benny in his arm. And she immediately embraced me, gave me a big hug, and we shared a few tears. And she invited me over to her house to see the memorial that they had set up for Sergeant Patterson. We were only there for a short time, but none of us wanted to say goodbye and wanted to keep talking. But I'm so glad that the good Lord, and I truly believe that Sergeant Patterson was the one that forced that situation to happen, because his mom was so surprised that after 20 years, people were still thinking about and remembering him. And that absolutely broke my heart. And I assured her that all of us are still remembering him and keeping his name alive, just like I do with my kids. And I can guarantee all the other guys that he served with over there are doing the same thing. That's what we do as Marines. We keep our Marines' names alive.